I went on a how you know there's synthetic shares and how you know that there's more than 2 billion. I think I outlined it pretty well, Chico. What do you think? Do you think you could regurgitate that to somebody else? Because this is the interesting thing is you know, giving somebody the challenge to go out and find a company. That's a hard one, Chico. I don't think anybody's going to like my answer. Do you really want, I mean, if you really want to hear my answer, I'll throw it out there, but I mean, it's not going to be, you're not going to like what you're going to hear. One way or the other, I'm going to make somebody disappointed in this. All right. All right, fair enough. Yes, it is. So let me be real with you guys. You have to remember that it's not just AMC in the play. There are other meme stocks. I'm not denying the fact that there's not other meme stocks. There are other meme stocks. GME is a meme stock. Uh, SPY is a meme stock. We know some of these are being used by the hedge funds to try and attract or dissuade people, but they're still, it doesn't take away from the fact that they're still heavily shorted. So, you know, beat all these other ones. Take every single meme stock you've heard of that's been shorted by these hedge funds. And every single one of those, when AMC squeezes off, and it's the mother of all, like we're literally talking about the mother of all short squeezes. Every single one of those is going to cook. Every single one, and every single one of those is going to have payoffs. And in my estimation, I really feel like that's gonna start. That's gonna eat into the amount of money that AMC could go up to. There's that factor. The other factor is that I think that there's generation. Well, there's different levels of wealth. There's realistic wealth. There's generational wealth, and there's stupid wealth. And at some point, as the price moves up psychologically, you're going to see, you know, who was it that said it earlier? Oh, Pepe. Crazy Pepe said, my portfolio is bleeding today. Think about the other side of that logic. When you start getting into realms of, um, I just forgot the three categories I created there. When you start getting into unreal wealth or just beginning phases of wealth that you've never seen before, how are you going to feel? It's going to be the exact same feeling that you have when you're saying my stock is bleeding. You're going to say, this is more than I know what to do with. And psychologically, will you be able to hold through that? Will you be able to hold through prices that you've never seen before? When you make your first $1 million, will you be able to sit there and say, I'm done? Or will you say, I'm going to push forward? These are all psychological things that none of us, I haven't ever experienced, you've never experienced, maybe Crazy Pep has experienced this before, maybe somebody else has, but majority of us have not ever experienced being millionaires before. Are you going to be able to psychologically push to a next level? That's the question. If you can't psychologically push to the next level, that's where we start to begin to see failures. This is why I track volume. We will be able to see when psychologically everybody is starting to fail because it will show in the volume. Volume's everything. Price is nothing. Price means jack shit. It means jack shit. Don't look at the price on a daily basis, guys, because it means nothing. It's all about the volume. So, do I think we can hit 100 to $500,000 per share? Probably not. Do I think that we can hit $5,000 a share? I do. I do think we can hit $5,000 a share. Do I think we can hit $10,000 a share? I question it, but I do believe that we could possibly get there. Just there are some factors that are kind of in there that um, we'll see whether or not they get in our way. Do I think we could hit 20 or 30,000 a share? Yeah, I feel the same way about 20 or 30,000 as I do 10,000. It just depends on whether or not psychologically, as a whole, everybody can hold through it as well as they can holding through the tough times. Because you have to realize psychologically, holding means holding through the good as well as holding through the bad. And that's going to actually weigh on you almost as heavily as the opposite. My problem with that is for it to reach extremely high prices like that, people will need to hold through some and save, let's say, in life-changing money to achieve those high amounts. Yeah, yeah. I mean, one day you're going to open up your account and you're going to see um, millions of dollars. Yes, even with billions of shares needed to get covered. All of this, how high it can go, all stems down to how long we can hold for. That's what it stems down to. And I'm being real with you guys. It really does matter how long we hold for because we determine our own fate. We have all the chips. It was funny. Somebody was saying to me, we're gambling," and I said, "Yeah, but we're the house," and that couldn't be further from the truth. Sorry, it couldn't be closer to the truth. We are the house. We own all the chips. We have all the money. It's just not in our pockets yet. And so as long as we continue to hold, eventually the gambler's gonna break. And when the gambler breaks, all that money is gonna be now in our pockets. And we have to decide at what point we're gonna walk away. It's gonna be different for everybody. I'm not gonna fault any of you. I won't fault anybody for skipping early. It's gonna happen, you know. Um, we're not all built the same. But I'm going to be watching volume, and I'll know when you guys are doing it. I'm watching. I'm like Santa Claus over here. I know when you've been bad, and that's what I'm going to wait for. I'm going to wait for the top, and I think those indicators. If you guys watched the show the other week when I said how to recognize the signs of the backside of the MOAS, um, those two indicators are gonna show us everything that we need to know. Yeah, the sad truth is that this absolutely 100% could hit 100 to 500K per share. But the thing is that psychologically, I don't think that people are going to make it that far. That's what the real truth is. I wish we could. I wish that we could make it far because I think that's what it would take to really change things. So I'll tell you what I told my son, Chico. I told my son, I said, come up with a life-changing number to you, right? Um, everybody's number is going to be different. Come up with a life-changing number for yourself. And well, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Come up with a life-changing number for you. When you hit your life-changing number, sell enough shares to cover your costs for whatever it was that you got in for. You know, whether it be $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, whatever that life-changing number is, sell enough to make back your money. And then when you've made back your money, you now have life-changing amounts of money in shares left, and you can sit there and hold the rest of those and wait for it to continue to either go up or you can sell for a margin. If it continues to go down from that life-changing point, then and you can't hold on any longer, and you think you're done, then you already know that you're breaking even. It's been 8 months, 9 months worth of holding. You're breaking even. You can, maybe this is unpopular for me to say, but psychologically, guys, this is going to be something that you've never dealt with in your entire life, in all honesty. And so, you're going to have to decide what your level of comfort is on how high you want to go. It's gonna take some soul searching for you to be able to weather. I mean, Chico, you just put $5,000. If I told you that it's going to drop from $5,000 down to 2,000, let me see. I have to do the math. Yeah. If I told you that it's going to drop at some point from $5,000 down to 1,500, but will still not be at the top, do you think you can hold through that? Because that's the truth. That's probably the most shocking truth you can possibly have, to realize that it could make it to $5,000 and drop suddenly to 1,500 in an hour's time, and then know that you might still be 2 days away from seeing the top, because it happened to GME. It's exactly what happened to GME, and it wasn't with $5,000; it was only 500. But this is exponentially much larger than GME ever was.